All right, now we just wait for YouTube. All right. Hello and welcome. I'm Stooge. Today, okay, YouTube has now caught up. Hello and welcome. I'm Stooge, and today we are going to be playing The Roottrees Are Dead. Give me just a moment. I make sure my now live notification got out on my Discord, which you can join here, and then we will get started. How is everybody today? I have had a day. It's only 9 a.m. All right, there's Discord. All right, and there's my now live notification. Excellent. Let's go on ahead and get started. I'm waiting to see if it actually loads. Okay, there we go. Cool. Okay. Oh, wrong button. Not cool. Settings. Graphics. Window. Full screen. There. That works. Audio. UI volume does not need to be that loud. There we go. Save changes. So I actually know the Forest Mystery Edition. How you doing, Pokey? I actually know very little about this game. Strega recommended I play it because I enjoyed Obra Dinn. So here I am. I decided to go PAX Unplugged today for some reason. PAX Unplugged circa 2018, not 1918. There was no PAX Unplugged 1918. Duh. But how are you doing today, Pokey? December 6th, 1998. I was 17.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottrees Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottrees and his daughters, the Roottrees sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
Okay.
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news. In addition to dealing with the grief, the Roottrees Company's lawyers are scrambling.
Okay.
Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer. I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for.
Especially me.
I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees. A genealogy genie, as it were.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a quick test. Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Okay. Complete the family tree of the Roottrees sisters. Siblings are in birth order, oldest to youngest. Examine my evidence. Search the internet for clues. Fill in the names. Fill in the occupation. Fill in the photos. Okay. Evidence. List of names. This list was provided to you by a mysterious person who showed up at your door. You need to fill in the family tree. So here's the start of the Roottrees. Miracle. I think that's a boy. Oh, men. Here we go. Girls. So we have Candy, Carly, Gwendolyn, Gwen, Christina, Lauren, Margaret, November, Raina, Riley, Samantha, and Tessa. The person who hired you gave you this photo with the note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees Sisters Got Milk ad. I've tracked down a test photo from before they painted a fake mustache. Painted the fake mustaches, on which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances. The ad's copy reads, "You might recognize our faces from the magazine you're reading. Or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a root tree is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it." Did I read the welcome? Spider search. Okay, welcome. Let's take a look. Welcome to the Information Superhighway. Thank you for purchasing a new Cashew PC. Your PC is equipped with a 56K modem, which is fast enough to access any site on the World Wide Web, even those with high-resolution images. All right. All right. Helps if I spell stuff right. There are a lot of obituaries that focus on the Roottrees sisters' modeling careers. You also come across an unofficial Roottree fan site seemingly curated by a teenager, and it's neon pink with purple text. Hard to read until you highlight the words. The young webmaster writes, Raina is the most famous because she's the oldest and got married to TMS. But Riley is the smart one. Rose is a middle child, like me. You might think they're rich just because they're models, but their dad is also the president of the candy company, and their mom, Brenda, is a fashion designer. They do the modeling for their brand, Root. I eat Roottrees candy all the time. My favorite are Maple Crisp, and try to dress and play in plaid Root clothes like Riley does in most of the posters. Someday, I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. The website's author. The website's author continues to talk about her own life, what she likes about the Root fashion lines, but none of it's relevant. Okay, so Raina's the oldest, Rose is the middle child, and Riley is the youngest. Okay, let's... Raina. How was Rose spelled? Rose isn't there. Interesting. Oh, Rose is... Yeah, Riley's the youngest. Okay. But Rose isn't her actual name. Rose the Roottree is not as popular as her older sister Raina, but still very well known. Most of the time, They're lumped together as the Roottrees sisters. Unfortunately, the results for Rose by herself don't lead to anything different from the searching the sisters together. You stumble across an auction for a black and blue dress, the Brenda White original. That's a Brenda White original. The auction describes it as a vintage dress from before Brenda became Brenda Roottree and started designing clothes for Root. Root. The period is part of the name. Is a clothing company. They make clothes for children from toddlers to teenagers. Although their website is down, like you do to increase web traffic, you find countless retail sites attempting to advertise their clothes towards the target audience. One of them has this to say: "You spied the Roottree sisters looking hella fly on catalogs, magazines, and posters. Now you too can look like Riley, Rose, and Raina." You also come across a website from a collector of clothing catalogs. Apparently, Root has released 2 catalogs per year every year since 1984. Raina appeared on almost all of them. There is only one that the webmaster considers a collector's item enough to mention. It seems that Brenda Roottree, the Roottree sisters' mother, and Roottree's head designer, appeared on one cover holding her daughter Rose in 1985. The site says this was the only time her daughter was ever listed by her birth name, Carly Roottree. They're all models. You don't have any portraits. All right, let's try this. Typos. I keep wanting to put the H in the wrong place. Okay. The notorious Montios. Okay. Girl. Tales of suspense. All right, let's go. History. All right. Oh yeah, I need to find out TMS too. All right. Let's see. All right, Riley does. Okay, Riley wears plaid. Rose has earrings. All right. So Carly has earrings. Riley wears plaid. Is that right? Let me go back. All right. Riley wears plaid, and yeah, Rose has earrings. Good. Well done. The 3 entries are correct. You have been locked. You've also locked the following optional entries. Ah!
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure you could use the internet. Some folks refuse to get with the times. Safe to say, you're hired.
Great.
The reward for untangling the family tree is substantial. Life-changing, even. But here's the catch. The Roottrees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. But I'm sure you'll be fine. The man who started it was particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives. Anyone related only by marriage is optional, but filling them in can lead to useful discoveries. Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable Roottrees. Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree.
Okay.
I'm off for now. Carl Roottree had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify 6 more blood relatives.
All right. Well, that's not too bad. Oh, I almost...
Sorry, one last thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Rootrees reaches out, I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here. Thank you, and good luck.
And who are you? Okay. Sleuth! Alright. Okay, I need to find out. I've got to find out who TMS is. Tommy Mark Sheridan. All right. Sheridan Thomas. Okay. That's Carl. Brenda White. Oh, there's a tiny picture there. Okay. How do I navigate this? I'm just checking to see if there are any divorces. Yep, there's a divorce here. There's 1 divorce. 2 divorces. Another divorce. I wonder what the significance of this is. Are they cut off? Topsy secret. You can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. It has 2 names that you must type in manually. The clues are obscured, have been intentionally hidden in the past, and may even require some leaps in logic. Try to keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. Alright. Carl Roottree died in the recent plane crash along with his wife, Brenda Roottree. Their daughters, the Roottree sisters, and their daughters, the Roottrees sisters. He was the president of the Roottree Candy Company, as well as the clothing company Root, which he co-founded with his wife. There is a short press release that the Roottree Candy Company released today to the news organizations. Like his great-grandfather before him, Carl earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year title. Okay, that's going to be important. It is with a heavy heart that we mourn the loss of Carla, Brenda, and the Roottree sisters, and the other employees that perished in the terrible tragedy. The entire Roottree family is in shock and requesting privacy at this time. As the head of our company, Carl was an incredible man, an unmatched leader. Filling his absence will be difficult and may take considerable time. In the interim, we hope that you join us in looking back fondly on Carl and his family's triumphs and accomplishments. Watchman of the Year. Oh, Watchman, not men. Business Watch magazine is a magazine focused on companies, CEOs, and the economy. They have been around for over 100 years in one form or another and will often write about major changes in management at famous companies. Every year, they offer an award to a prominent businessman who has furthered the field. They call this Watchman of the Year. You'll find through a few searches that two Roottrees have been featured as Watchmen of the Year: Elias Roottree and Carl Roottree. Business Watch does not host any online archives on any site you can find via spider search, though you may be able to find individual articles and issues through your periodical search. Okay. So Elias was his great-grandfather? So there's Carl. There's Carl's father. Well, you say Elias right there. So, I mean, I'm fairly sure to say that. And since we have a junior, oh, but we don't know what age. Interesting. Okay, interesting. But we also have a periodical search now. Oh. It was in 1936 for his accomplishment of rolling out 5 pieces to the global market. Notes from the article and a scan someone made have been added to your evidence. So that's Elias. He's a leprechaun, he is. Alright, so if we go back here. And then go back to the evidence. Elias Roottree was voted Businessman of the Year by Business Watch in 1936, and a painting of him appears on the cover. The magazine says he was voted Watchman of the Year specifically for specifically to recognize the global rollout of 5 pieces. Inside the article is a timeline of 5 pieces. Elias forms the Roottree Candy Company after marrying his wife, who inherited a maple farm. During the period before 5 pieces, the company is barely profitable. In 1909, Elias has a daughter, the first of 5 children. 4 more follow, leading to Elias invents 5 pieces. Each of the 5 flavors is chosen based on the initials of his 5 children, 1 piece per child. 5 pieces are first sold in some Pittsburgh markets. The new recipe and flavor is finalized and the candy begins nationwide distribution in department stores and other shops everywhere. In 1935, the Roottrees Candy Company purchases every available maple farm in Pennsylvania in preparation for their global rollout. With the help of his son, Elias Roottrees Jr.'s architect firm, a new industrialized factory and warehouse are built in Butler County. Production is tripled and worldwide distribution begins. All right, so we can go here. Well, wait, we still don't know how old his son is. Let me see. Did we get a name for his daughter? Nope. Just that he had a daughter. All right. There's also a what's next section that claims Elias is going to pivot to ensuring his company's legacy and that the Roottrees Candy Company remains a family business. He plans to do this with the Clance Trust. Okay. The Roottrees sisters and their parents died in a plane crash December 6, 1998. The next evening, a shadowy figure... Really? Next evening? I thought it was the same night. Because it was breaking news and then she showed up. The next evening, a shadowy figure appeared at your door and said the lawyers were looking to sort out the family tree. After a quick test, the figure gave you access to some resources. This included a list of notable Roottrees. So they said who they said would be the easiest family members to place. They said they would return in the time it took to fill out 6 more blood relatives. Notable Roottrees. The Roottrees sisters, Carl Roottrees, Elias and Gwyneth, Gwen Roottrees, Red Roottrees, Jim Roottrees, Lauren Roottrees, and Miracle Roottrees Jr. Alright, well, let's go back here. Carl Roottrees was voted, yep, great. Do we have... Okay. An entry on the family tree that belongs to someone on this will be marked with a notable root with a star. Alright. There's the 5 pieces. There are five flavors because the inventor had 5 kids. Yum. Intuition. You've been in this line of work a long time. So long, in fact, you've developed a 6th sense of how useful your evidence can be. The number in the magnifying glass refers to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. The higher the number, the more there is to find. At the start of your search, the notables list sets off alarm balls, a list of famous people that you can find via search engine. It's pretty rare to get something that useful. Best take advantage of it. As you progress, these numbers will change whenever you find more evidence or lock in family tree members. New discoveries will be added to the list, and old evidence will become less useful. Trust your intuition. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a closer look at the people or phrases it mentions. Often, the most satisfying revelations come from retracing a path you thought was fully explored. Armed with new perspectives, sometimes the reason certain evidence has such a high value is because it can lead to finding more evidence. You may be missing a huge piece of the puzzle. This is an advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. It mentions that the 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. The ad also mentions that the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Interesting. What is an elderberry anyways? Okay, it's just gonna... There we go. Is that not right? I mean, he's Carl Roottrees, CEO. Once the person is verified, you'll be able to add a... Once you can verify this person, you'll be able to add a bonus photo. Okay. Let's see if we can find out more about Raina Roottrees. Okay, it's just the same thing. Huh. What? Author name, book title. That's the only periodical we have. So there are Grab Life by the Roots, December. Also, our ongoing coverage of the who's who in the corporate world. Okay. Carl Roottrees was voted Watchman of the Year in 1987, and a photo of him appears on the cover. According to the cover, Business Watch is the magazine for and about corporate leaders, and has ongoing cover of who's who in the corporate world. Carl was chosen for his work at Roottrees Candy, but was not chosen but rather a clothing company, Root. There's a brief history. Before they met, Carl's wife Brenda was a fashion consultant. When Raina was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother. Looking for a creative outlet, she spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Raina's new clothes were a hit with the other parents, including Carl's cousin, Jim Roottrees. Alright, so... cousin... But... there had to be a child. So, Jim, possibly Jim, or possibly Jim, I should say. Wait, what? I have no idea what's going on here. Oh, back to the evidence. A notable singer who had a young daughter around the same age as Raina. Word spread. Okay, so he would have been notable then, because he was a famous singer. And if we check, Jim Roottrees has a star. So if we go back to the family tree, that'd be Jim. Let's see if we... Okay, yeah. I mean, they say famous singer. But they don't have singing as a profession. Oh, maybe that's what they want. They want president, not Let's try that. Well, first I'll put musician here. Then I'll try president. And he's the... right? Nope, he wouldn't be the 5th president. He'd be the 4th. Yeah. I think I'm going to stick with CEO for now. Unless there's actually, like, root tree presidents. Alright. Is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife, Diamond Leroy. The duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song "Rollin' Down the City." Rolling down to the city. It's now in your evidence folder. Although Jim writes the majority of the songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's lead singer. The band never had another hit, but as its fans, who refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers, the rest of their music is more folksy and acoustic than the one song they were known for. Jim and Diamond have continued to release music through the 80s and early 90s. Other albums you'll find mentioned are Cherry Tree and The Sound of Laughter. Jim has become a bit of a recluse, and he hasn't made a public appearance since 1996. Alright, let's try Diamond Roottrees. Okay, so she kept going by Leroy. That's it? So it's the same thing. Okay. Let's take a look at the evidence. There are 2 bonus pictures. And then, let's see. I mean, I don't want to just follow the breadcrumbs as they're putting it out, you know? Let's go back to our evidence. Oh, this is the song. This is the lyrics. There's going to be something important in those lyrics. So, yeah, there's 11 things. As seen in, is an abbreviation for the Modern Music Monthly, a magazine from the 40s to the early 80s. It went out of business due to high competition from much more major publications. A review and interview from 1979 titled A Reluctant Hitmaker, Jim Goes Into His First Band. Alright, until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C and J plus J and D with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his fathers, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, okay, so Clark Roottrees was a divorcee. That would be him. Interesting. Oh, wait. What was his name? Rafferty? No, there. Rafferty. Okay, we don't know which Rafferty this is. Okay, so we have Jacob Rafferty. And then we have Rafferty Leroy. Wait, what? So either Diamond interesting. All right, back to the article. Jim never knew his father, so our grandpa insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. Ah, okay. Oh, interesting. Wait a minute, what? Interesting. Well, this was in 79, so I guess this would be Jane. And it was also his ex. So I'm gonna put that there temporarily. So the four of us sort of had a cutesy family band thing going on. Not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her youngest sister, everything exploded. No more family band. Oh. So Diamond and Jane had a third sister. There was a third sister. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music, but even then, we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I have been told Rollin' is like that, but that wasn't my goal. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh. I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of the decade, he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. He started the Raffertunes, and he's much better a jingle writer than songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to the Roottrees. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the wall over the record player. If I was never interested, I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. Okay, so we got the Raffertunes. Okay, so Katrina's the youngest. Okay, so we go back here. Katrina. And that would then be Jessica. Okay. Below that is more detail. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children, and when his wife was trying to get his youngest Katrina to calm down for the picture, he had the idea for the Roottrees Super Bowl ad. The photo is now in your evidence. Okay. Okay. By process of elimination, that must be Kim. So who is this? Interesting that he has... So, let's see. But who is, so how can we find out Clark's? Because he didn't know his dad. Oh, wait, he didn't know his dad, but he might. Okay, so what was his mother? Let's see if, in a section of the magazine called Skip It or Flip It, has a short pithy blurbs about new records album called These Times is listed under the Skip It column with the following: These Times, a new single by C&J and J&D, Clark Rafferty, Jim Roottrees, and the two Leroy sisters. Amateur's folk style songwriting is catchy at times, but ultimately doesn't do anything new. These Times. All right. A band called, someone with the username XXX Diehard Dazzler XXX scanned the cover and noted that it cost him over $200 at auction. Apparently, this was Jim Roottrees and Diamond Leroy's first song together. He also mentions that it was performed with Jim's cousin and Diamond's sister, and that was only somewhat similar to Jim and Diamond's later works. You can't find anything else about XXX Diehard Dazzler XXX, the band, or the single. So all that's left to do is add the scan to your evidence. After a blazing fast 35-minute download, the track is available. Okay.
Life is life, love shall be, me for you and you for me. Someday will come, though, that this tree will be the last of what was we. With passing years, all paths diverge, rivers rambling, onward surge. One source behind old memories, but find their ways to different seas. Someday these times will all be over.
Oh goodness, I dozed off. I'm sorry. No worries, Pokey.
Morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free. We'll tell ourselves these stories older, dwell on warmth, ignore the colder, probably yearn for what could be, rose tinted by youth's memory. fleeting. Love still flows, our hearts heart beating. For now, ignore fate's destiny. Two roads that cross once at this tree. Someday these times will all be over. All be over. Dew dries on the morning clover.
I'll be honest, this is nice.
So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free. Someday these times will all be over. All be over. The dew dries on the morning clover. Morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free.
I like it. Hmm? I don't know if this is a continuation of that or if this is... Oh. Okay. I think it's obvious that this is him and this is him. Okay. Go back here. C. Let's see. C and J plus J and D. That's all that is. Okay. Okay. Nope, that's it. All right. Let's see. All right. Don't forget, family trees use surnames from birth. Even if a person changed their last name after marriage, always use a person's most recent occupation. Advertising. Recluse? That's not okay. No, you can't put dead. All right. Yeah, as far as I know, that's his most recent occupation. All right, let's see. Oh, right. Gwyneth, Roottrees. Let's search Gwyneth Roottrees. Gwyneth Anderson. Okay. All right. You find some information on a website for the first Anderson maple farm. There are a few pictures, including famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth. That photo was added to your evidence. Before marrying Elias, Gwyneth Rootree was Gwyneth Anderson. She had no brothers, so as the oldest sister, she was to inherit the Anderson maple farm, so long as she married. Before Elias took over, the farm produced only syrup. It was supposedly Elias' idea to create candy instead. Their success was not immediate until they decided to combine the maple with other flavors. This led to 5 pieces, which are still found in stores today. Though the Roottrees Candy Company expanded well beyond their original farm, it has been preserved as a tourist attraction. According to their website, there are still daily demonstrations and educational tours that show off many of the turn-of-the-century appliances that Gwyneth would have used as a housewife in the early 1900s. Oh, there we go. Well done. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. You have also locked the following possible entries. Okay, yeah, because I don't know what they're interesting. So he's not correct. And he's not correct. All right. So it's possible that multiple people were president before him. So he's probably the 5th president. So I have 2 additional photos, like mood. I have to say, missed opportunity to actually make websites. Just a summary of what you see doesn't fit the mood of Googling information. No, it doesn't, Pokey. You are correct. Okay. From marketing material and various candy history sites, you learn that 5 pieces are the iconic candy sold by the Roottrees Candy Company. Although they are no longer the company's only popular product, they still sell well to this day. Should have been more like Hyperspace Outlaw, I suppose. 5 pieces are small, colorful, shell-coated maple candies that since the late 20s have been pressed into the shape of a maple leaf. Although they usually have one flavor that looks more like a berry. As tastes have changed over the years, so have the 5 flavors, but the shape and combination with maple have remained consistent. There's also a history of print advertising website that claims to have a 5 pieces advertisement scanned from a book called The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2 by Charles Lee. Unfortunately, when you click through to the website, it seems like all of their image links are broken. Published in 1985, hardcover, History Advertising Nonfiction. This is part of a book series all about all things candy in the modern world. It starts in 1925 and continues onward to chronicle the rise of mass production and global distribution. The book ends with a look into the future of candy as envisioned by experts in 1985. With the addition of hindsight, you can clearly see they got pretty much everything wrong. It includes some print advertisements. You'll find a newspaper ad for 5 pieces from the 1930s added to evidence. G, E, C, E, and Miracle. Or M. Okay. So we gotta look at the root tree. We gotta look at the names. Yeah, I don't care about that. I care about this. Alright, well, yeah, I guess if I do this and I go to root tree, we know Miracle. Yeah, those are the notables. We know Miracle, we know Elias Jr. So, who has... Let's go back to... Okay, go back here. Clancy Edward. So, okay, so that's probably Gwen. But yeah, Elias, Clancy Edward, Miracle. What are the other M's possible? Oh, that's sad. Well, no, he had 5 kids. Oh, right, men, women. We have Gwen and Margaret. Let's try searching. Oh, and Gwendolyn. Right? Because Gwyneth, yeah. So let's try Gwendolyn. Let's see what happens if we search Gwendolyn root tree. Did I spell that correctly? Gwendoline. Nope. You find a website for the Miracle Network, a production company run by Miracle Root Tree Estate. It's quite bare bones, but has the blurb, "Witness the testimonies of the Miracle's Root Tree." Miracle Root Tree arrived so late in his mother's life that doctors swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth, named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by 14 years. With a birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems, but still, with the power of God on his side, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications and even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years later, Miracle Root Tree Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel. For the higher power, at 18, he unburdened himself from the Root Tree name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. And via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left the life of glamour and glitz behind to reach those places that need it most. The power of the Lord coming to a town near you. Below the blurb is a flyer about the tour, which is in your evidence. Alright, well. Miracle had 2 children. I assume that this is probably Miracle Jr. And that would make this Miracle the third. Witness the power of the Lord. Summer 96. 3 Generations of Miracles Tour. Featuring testimony from world-famous Miracle Jr. and a special appearance from Miracle Roottrees in his 68th year on God's earth. Children now welcome. Celebrate with your pastor, Miracle Third, and his wife, Nicole. Whoops, nope. Oh, which Nicole? Well done. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked.
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes.
Okay.
But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s Roottrees reunion. I also found some important-looking papers. You've traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
Alright, let's take a look at this evidence. Okay, great. So there's the reunion. There is... Oh, vote. Vote for Stephanie Jones for City Council. Better for Butler County. This was buried under a ton of mail that Carl left in his inbox. It had a handwritten note attached that seemed personal. It's a flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler Times about her campaign. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least, but in her words, it was still full of love. And now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, her message to voters is simple: love is our future. The handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. CM. CM. No, not on that side. Not on this side. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, maybe. Oh, Carolyn. Carolyn Morden, maybe? T flag. Parents. Okay. Nope. Huh. But that's it. An organization founded in the 70s. The acronym stands for Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. Yeah. That's gotta be it. Let's see. That could be her, or that could be that person, but I don't think so. I wonder what... Maybe illegitimate? Or something? I don't know. Okay. I wonder if this is... Is this Jane? Can't be Jane. Let me see. Let's see. What was his name again? Rafferty. Chris or Jacob? Oh, right. I do have a photo for her. I didn't take advantage of it when I... Okay, fine. Let's see. There we go. All right. Let's take... I guess let's take a look at our new evidence. I mean, we looked at this. Let's search. Let's see if Stephanie Jones. Whoops. Helps if I spell it correctly, doesn't it? You learn from an election results page that Stephanie Jones, a candidate for city council, won her campaign on election day about a month ago. You find no mention of the Roottrees in any articles about her. Stephanie also has a bare bones website for her campaign. It is simply a picture of her campaign mailer, and underneath it says, "Be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times." Butler County is located outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, while Roottrees Candy Company is located now has its headquarters in the cities. The company began on a small farm with... Okay. The most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results from last month's election. Stephanie apparently won her election. You can also find the full version of the newspaper clipping back in the campaign mailer on the back of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. While most of it is unimportant, you do find the following: Stephanie Landon and tell her marriage to local business Okay, Stephanie Landon. Okay, Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. She is a distant cousin of the Roottrees. Her mother, Caroline, a local artist who has appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past, has often come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees and to expand their maple farms. Unlike my mother, I'm not a fighter. I want to bring love to the world. Interesting. Okay. So, if I were to say, I'd say that this is probably her mother and her partner, but there's no marriage there. Okay, you know what? This is probably her. Stephanie Landon. Brian Jones. I don't think I have a picture of Carolyn. But if I go to my evidence, I do have that family reunion photo. So that would be her. No, that wouldn't be her. Okay, this is a photo. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Every 20 years or so, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This is from the 70s, and Carl's the teenager. Carl is the teenager in the middle. Okay, that must be Carl. Sorry about the water damage. A pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back of the photo, in childless print writing, it says November. There's also a large number of cursive signatures. They include Bonnie, next President Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Carolyn, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Jim Roottree, Clark, Carl, and Eli M. Okay. That's him. And you can actually see it too. You can totally see it. I like it. You have a pic of Brian. I do have a pic of Brian. I can't put this in. Oh, I can put it in. Excellent. Never mind. Thank you, Pokey. I think we only have one Carolyn, right? That's Morden. Okay, so this is either James or Zachariah. That must be Mark. Don't know who that is. I should have another photo. Let me see. If I go to my evidence. Oh. He should be in here somewhere. Let me see. Then here. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Here's a bonus. When I pulled the water damage picture of the free spirits out of the frame, this fell out too. Written on the back of the photo is, couldn't make the reunion, wishing you well from Paris, Gwen and the boys. This is in the 70s. Okay, yeah. This photo was taken inside an envelope, was tucked inside an envelope with a letter beneath a candle in the corner of his office. The letter says, to Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. It's traditional to have it as soon as possible. And Ernie, more than anyone else on earth, knew how busy your job can be. I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects, though it's not expected for those outside the faith to do so. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. As for myself, it is impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. It went unsaid at the time, but Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Wait, where's photo? All right. As a side note, a video game called The Roottrees Are Dead was once set in Butler County. It turns out the creator never lived in or near Butler County, or even had any connection with Butler County. Alright, let's see, what else do we need? What was I gonna do? Oh. Ernie Roottree. Okay, apparently that's the wrong name. Alright, let's take a look at the evidence. Ernest Madsen. Okay, I think we're looking for Ernest Madsen. Ernest Madsen or Ernest Madsen Jr. Did I spell that correctly? Dang it, wrong button. Yeah, Madsen. Or Ernest Madsen Jr. You could just copy it. You could copy and paste the names. Could I? Oh, I could. Oh, I can even search directly. Wow. Okay, that's nice. So Gwen. Where's Gwen? You find some information on a website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. The site is not very well organized and the search is broken, but you can get individual pages from your search engine. Gwen Roottrees is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Her biggest role was in a minor hit movie called Guys Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. There's a widely circulated picture of Gwen from behind the scenes on one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. Did you know Gwen was the granddaughter of Elias Roottrees and the founder of Roottrees Candy? She shouldn't have been named Roottrees, but her father took her mother's famous name, which was quite rare in those days. Interesting. I know the back button works. Oh, I guess the history button does too. It includes, wow, it includes these too. That's nice. Okay. So, new evidence. Okay. So she's a generation older. This is probably Gwen. No, there was a divorce. This is Gwen. Okay. She was the granddaughter. It just said she was the granddaughter of Elias, not that. So I still don't know the. I know the children. But I don't know. Let's go back to the evidence. Let's see. I'm fairly confident that's not her. You got her. This is a shot in the dark, and I'm not going to take it. Gwen and the boys. So we already have the second photo for Gwen. Oh. Okay, so daughter, not son. Okay. Huh. Because I thought that was, yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the evidence and... No, not that. This. Here. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't read this all. Because I got too hooked up on the Debbie. Ernie was a man full of love. Okay, as for myself, it's impossible to express my gratitude. Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't. Much love, Debbie. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We could never have done that without the two of you, Debbie. All right. Debbie. Deborah Bean. And then we have Nicole. Nicole Madsen. So yeah, Ernest Madsen. Oh, wait, since we know that, who was it we... there was somebody who had... Where was the other Nicole at? What was the other Nicole? Oh, here. There we go. And then if we go to the photo, we go back to the evidence and go to here, I can at least say oh, we don't have a bonus photo of him. Okay. So who would this be a photo of? Because this is obviously him. You can see it. Okay. Actress. Okay. Okay. Her husband took the Roottrees name, so we don't know. He had 2 daughters. He had 2 daughters, 3 sons. Oh, you know what? We go back here, look at the names. The Clancy Trust. Clancy Trucy. Or is it Clance Trust? I can't type anymore. Okay, let's see. However, you find a direct link to the history section that manages to work momentarily. The Roottrees Candy Company was founded by Elias Roottrees shortly before he married his wife Gwyneth, whose family owned a small farm. For reasons that aren't explained on the page, it has no CEO and no stockholders. Instead, it's run by a president with input and votes from extended family. The site does mention that every president has been direct descendant of Elias and Gwyneth, including Carl Roottrees, who despite his death is listed as the current president. The product that put them on the map was the 5 pieces. Okay. Bit of history. All right. I don't need that. I can go to my evidence. Look at this image. The Clance Trust. I knew it was Clance Trust. Okay, the trust is a highly unusual corporation named after Clancy Edwards Roottrees, who was Elias's son and the Roottrees Company's head lawyer at the time. Due to its unique nature, it's often brought up in online discussions about financial matters and inheritance as an oddity. The company mandates that a fixed percentage of its profits are split every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth. An account is created for each blood relative at birth and first accessible when they reach 18. The actual numbers have never fully been disclosed to the public, but due to the ever-increasing success of the company is a significant amount of money. The Clance Trust is known for being essentially impossible to get around due to many checks and balances written into it. Still, there have been a few situations in which family members have tried to forcibly remove another member from the trust. Most details online are pretty vague since the matters are handled internally. The only information you discover is from a university law school, which apparently had a guest lecture talk about the Roottrees versus RR. In 1994. While looking into the Clance Trust, you often find mentions of the 5-piece guarantee, which went into effect at the same time. The 5-piece guarantee, in combination with Clance Trust, was Elias Roottrees' attempt to ensure that the Roottrees Candy Company would remain a family business for eternity. In isolation, it is somewhat baffling. The yearly salary of Roottrees presidents is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. When the 5-piece guarantee went into effect, this was 25 cents a year. 25 cents a year. Now it's closer to $4 a year. Woo! Ow. Hold on. Combined with the Clance Trust, however, it makes a bit more sense. Elias wanted to ensure that only his direct relatives could afford to be president. And he knew that because their passive income was tied to the profits of the company, that they would have a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable and successful as possible. Whether or not this was smart or a successful decision is widely debated both online and in person by economics enthusiasts of all levels. Well, it's kept the company going for, 90 years or 70 years or whatever. All right, let me see. Back. And then we have this. You find very few details about this particular incident with regards to the Clance Trust. A student that attended the lecture about it wrote the following on a legal oddities website. From what you can tell, RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. It was said that RR attempted two arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock, and second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Still, due to the ironclad wording of the Clance Trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottree without completely dissolving the trust. There's no additional information online. Interesting. Born out of wedlock. This is in 94. So it has to do with this. It's got to do with this, right? RR. Oh wait, red root tree. Aloysius Herring Roottrees, aka Red, was an appointed judge and politician who earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. He served what some people contended is the shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people. He then tried to run for a state senate. He claimed to be related to Roottree Candy Company in a newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence, and he was defeated in a landslide. Interesting. I don't know if I believe it. Aloysius Herring Roottrees. Yes. Okay, I think I searched Miracle Root Tree, didn't I? Let's see. History. Miracle Network. I did not search Miracle Root Tree. Alright. Oh, that's searching the history. I misspelled miracle. Mere. Okay. Okay. I'm sure this will do nothing. Huh. What's this? Tips. Okay. Let's take a look at the evidence here. Yep. Good luck with your raids, Pokey. Three Generations of Miracles tour. You find a... Okay. Well, that didn't give me any help. Nope. The notable Roottrees has 21, yeah. I haven't looked up Lauren Roottree, huh? Author Lauren Roottrie is a distant relative of the Roottrie sisters. Is known for her book A Life Between Walls. According to a website about famous authors, in the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name of Lauren Rafferty. A little fanfare. When her publisher learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Roottrie, to take advantage of her family's notoriety. The selection of diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and a mother, as well as her perspectives on changing times and socialites all the way through the entry into Vietnam. While the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it has found new life as an exercise in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style, and for a look into the life of a previous generation. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novels under the name Lauren Roottree. This included Romance and Court, which gained popularity. She followed the re-release up by writing 2 new sequels, creating what fans refer to as the Court Jester series. You find no recent details about Lauren, though. She is listed as retired. Okay. So we want A Life Between Wars. By Lauren. Hardcover student edition, republished 1993, nonfiction. It seems you've hit the jackpot here. This is a book occasionally taught in schools. You even find a hardcover edition for students that have full pages, high quality pictures in it. A summary of content of the book, photos, as well as some particular relevant entries from the diary have been added to your evidence. Okay, these are more of the... Oh, we got the 5 pieces. So these are the original 5 children. We have the free spirits. Then we have the next generation. Okay, so let's start here. Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This is the 5 pieces. Caption: this picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. Okay. It was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Elijah Jr. designed. I would assume that this is Elijah Jr. because that must be... Okay. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it. The 3 of us were all but of the same age. All about the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well, to say the least. Eventually, I suppose to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I found out years later that they never even took a second photo. Okay. Well, we can go here. Well done. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. Oh, I never put in a I forgot to put in a profession for her. God dang it. That certainly would have done it. All right, now let's see. All right. Lauren. What? Okay. And this must be Clancy. Lawyer. Author. Again, we still have Chris or Jacob Rafferty as possible solutions for that. Did I take a picture? Did I grab a picture of Leroy? No. Okay. Oh, I don't. All right, back to here. Well done. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. You deserve it. Okay.
You're listening to
Don't ask me, I don't know.
It's time for your headlines. Once an hour, every hour, on the 45. It's a bizarre development to an already tragic tale. In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl Roottrees' belongings have apparently gone missing. Most notably, a framed photo of the Rootree family from the mid-1970s that Carl had on his office wall. We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for WRTD News. Again, that's WRTD.
Raise your hand if you're surprised. I'm not. All right, yeah. Investigative Jazz radio station. During their news segment at 45 minutes on the hour, they have been talking about the plane crash. The most recent hour, they talked about a picture taken from Carl's office. During the interview, it's revealed that there wasn't a break-in. Instead, someone with a key to the office took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to a recent storm. This means it was likely someone close to the family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. The psychologist, however, also goes on to posit the culprit had an alternate agenda, specifically because nobody in the family has come forward to say they have it in their possession. A comment below the article says, "Don't believe their lies. This is just another instance of the root tree curse being a real, true thing. I bet you, Carl, was murdered and the picture had evidence on it." Okay. So, let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. The below are notes and observations you made while skimming through Lauren Roottree's diary. Pages in A Life Between Wars. Lauren Roottree is on a notable route. Okay. The book was published in 1965 and consists of diary entries that stretch from 1940 to 1965. The most important event that much of the diary and Lauren's thoughts revolve around was the loss of her husband, Jacob. Jacob died in the final months of World War II while Lauren was pregnant. This left her to raise her son, Clark, all alone. Lauren never remarried and only had one child. By skimming the pages of the diary, you glean the following information. She was the granddaughter of Elias Gwyneth and Gwyneth on her father's side. Her mother's family was called the Cossels, but she hardly ever mentions them. Her father, who she always refers to as Pop, was the head lawyer of the Roottree Candy Company and helped write a legal document called the Clancy Trust. It's clear from context that the Roottrees have internal shorthand names for the different generations of their family. Lauren uses them often. The 5 pieces, the first generation of children by Gwyneth and Elias. Lauren's father was in this generation. The next generation, Lauren's generation. And the free spirits, the generation after Lauren's, including her sons. Okay, so if we go... So that's the next generation. I guess that would... No, that wouldn't... No, that would be... Yeah, okay, if we go here... No, if we go here, there we go. It looks like that would be her. Right? If we go back to the evidence. Yep. Or that would be her. It's hard to tell. That's gotta be her. I wish it didn't take the photo. Well, it's nice that it takes the photos out. Either of these could be her. I don't know which it is. And then I think that's the case. I could be wrong about that one. Actually, that's a problem. Oh, wait. That's gotta be him. Oh, I didn't take that. There we go. I don't know who. So that's got to be. So it looks like the daughter, but that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Oh, what root tree do we have that has a name that starts with an R? Grandma insisted we include Sam even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also don't think it's fair that Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge even after all these years. Okay. Lauren's diary contains some labels and the pictures. Okay. In an attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation for old time's sake, we gathered at the warehouse floor. I want Eli to stand all the way on the left side, since to me it looked like Pop did in the old one, but I was outvoted. Outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the 4 of us stand together. And so we clumped up in the middle, let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. So she has 4 brothers, or 3 brothers, excuse me. I don't. Well, let's take a look at the photo. I mean, youngest, and he looks like his dad. So I'm gonna think. I think. I'm gonna think it's like that. Oh, boom. Oh, I guess I should look at the evidence. Okay. Go back here. And then I still don't know that one. Let's see. Oh wait, if I go back to the evidence and to this photo here. I don't know who I mean, these are all important people. Oh, that's Eli. Well, thanks, Eli. Okay. Those might be backwards. And this has to be their sister. I have no idea who that would be. Like, could be. No, that doesn't make sense. Oh wait, that wouldn't be their sister. That'd be their other cousin. Herpa derpa. Let me see what happens if I search. Go back here. Search. Let's take a look at the names. Elias M. Elias C. Oh, it's gosh. There's so many Eli's. And searching Ernest Madsen didn't do any good. Let's search Elias Jr. Elias Jr.'s name is listed on a website about historical buildings. He is listed alongside an old residence that has been preserved called Hunchtop House. You attempt to find out more information about the man, but and the building, but come up short. Okay. Okay, and then we have Clancy, Edward, Roottrees. And it's just that he wrote the yeah, that's all that the clan said trust. All right, let me see, what else do we got then? Like, I tried this. Actually, wait, there's more here. Let's take a look at this. Everything's here now. Okay. Oh, what? Oh. Okay. An entry entitled Complaints from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1953. This entry seems to focus specifically on Lauren's family members, Gwen, on one of who is the notable Roottrees. It seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwen, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it felt like but fell on deaf ears. During the summer where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, okay. Marguerite. Wait, that doesn't make sense though. But that's the only one, like if we search. Yeah, that's gotta be it. That's gotta be Marguerite. I hoped she would be the sister I never had, and that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the two of them. What a mess. Okay, so Marguerite has blonde hair. Let's take a look at this. That's Marguerite. Okay. I assume she was probably... Okay. Let's see. The blonde to fit in with the two of them. What a mess. But she just complained to her that I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her vicious stares at me even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in starlet. And tell tales of how she gallivants around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I'm jealous. If I were not a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? But I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me. And now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by a terrible tragedy, I am also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff just like I do at Gwen. All right. Starlet was a magazine that was started with the colorization of film and went until around 1964. Generally, it was a tabloid with a focus on famous actors and actresses. It didn't much go into any other aspects of filmmaking or Hollywood news. Starlet. Gwen Roottrees. Gwen Roottrees was often in Scarlet. Most mentions were around the time of her divorce in 1958 from Wild Bill Williams. Must be a stage name. I'm gonna have to look into that. So what I'll do is I will grab okay. Let's see. He was known for his good looks, and the famous Hollywood rumor is that he even approached Marilyn Monroe at a party. Wild Bill grew up in Paris, France. He often returned there. Okay. But Williams isn't a name that I have access to, so that's fun. Let's see. Wild Bill Williams. The gossip is speculative and full of tabloid stereotypes. Some of it focuses on the fact that when she announced her divorce, she also announced she was pregnant again. Other mentions of the rumor is that Wild Bill had multiple affairs, which left her heartbroken. There's also an interview from early 1957 where she was asked about her last name. She answered, the power of a name is undeniable. My grandfather constantly preached the importance of family names and honoring them. My father decided to bless me with a famous name. There's nothing wrong with Cornwall, but Roottrees has power. My husband similarly goes by Wild Bill. It's an infamous name he repurposed for himself because he didn't have the benefit of being born with a famous one. But Wild, combined with the alliteration Williams, is incredibly memorable. Although we've relocated to Paris, I know your readers love to keep up with my husband, so consider this a Starlit exclusive about both of us. Wild Bill and I have a child on the way, and we're sticking with Roottrees for the last name, not Williams. But we also plan to lean into alliteration. So that's how we'll honor both of our family names for the next generation. Okay. Okay. Oh. Let's see. But we still don't know if that's actually... Oh, Cornwall. Linus. He has naturally blonde hair. Let me see. Like that. Okay. And she had 2 children. All right, our names: Robert or Ronald. But back to the research. Wild Bill Williams was mentioned many times throughout the magazine's lifespan, with stories and gossip about who he had been seen with in public. Blondes mostly. 3 specific passages stand out. Walter Forsythe. First mentions one of his first roles was under his real name, Walter Forsythe. The second interview also, although he doesn't mention her by name, you determine from context he's talking about Gwen Roottrees. And apologies to all the ladies, I'm actually taken. Earlier this year, I did a friend a favor. He was directing a war movie and asked me to play a small part. Wouldn't you know it, that son of a bitch cut me from the picture. I'm just ribbing. It wasn't his fault. Apparently the studio didn't want to pay for a star of my caliber. I got the last laugh though. I met someone. She spent most of the film crying. She was playing a soldier's wife. But even through the tears, she was incredible. I know I tend to have a reputation, but this one's true love. I only have eyes for her. Ironically, the third rumor is that his divorce from Gwen was due to multiple affairs, including one with another actress. An American reader on vacation in Paris claims to have overheard Wild Bill and Gwen arguing in public when she was holding a baby and visibly pregnant. Not long after, Gwen announced she was divorcing Wild Bill, and also that she was pregnant again, giving the rumor more credibility. Okay. Let's see what happens if we search this. Okay, it doesn't really help. Okay. So we got that. Okay. An entry entitled Dynasty from Lauren Roottrees' diary written in 1958. It focuses on the day her grandfather Elias announced he would step down as president of Roottree Candy Company and the meeting to determine his successor. I wish I had been a fly on the wall today. Fancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious none of his sons would take over as president. And that's what he gets for holding on to it for so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. So with the 5 pieces refusing to step up, it came down to us next gens. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the Roottree name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. Instead, it ended up going to Zach. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy. He's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. I'm not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Granddad has always had a very particular views on when it came to his bloodline. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. After all, Angie's older than Zach, and I'm next oldest of us all. But he just laughed. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted, at least with catty remarks, countered, maybe they wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. Oh, there we go. We know who this is. I didn't take of all the things not to take a picture of. Let's see, Zach. So that's the other daughter. Let's see, this was Morden. President number 2. And she's gonna be... Gosh darn it. Okay. Oh, redhead. It's gonna be the redhead in the picture. I guess she would be... Maybe? Yeah, I didn't like it, because unless I've got something else wrong. Like, I don't know. This must be Clancy. Unknown. Let's see. Let's go back to here and look at, not that, this. Okay. and Roottrees. And this, I guess, would also be Gwendolyn. Let's see. Go back to evidence. Okay, that's the one. Nope. Take a look at the picture. There might be some clue. Nope. No clue. Okay. Oh, wait. I said... That can't be right. Oh, wait. I've got these two backwards. Morden Zachariah. And... that would be Gwendolyn. Oh. Oh, we have a Angelica Morden? Oh, we got Carolyn and... Okay. But that doesn't match. That doesn't mesh. That should be her. I don't know if... Like, we know that's Carolyn. That must be Angelica. And... you would be president number 2. There we go. All right. So, Zachariah Morden. Did I misspell his name? Yes, I did. Really? Huh. Okay. Gwendolyn Roottrees. Definitely a housewife. These 3 entries are correct. Booyah!
So, you may have heard the news. Some of Carl's things have gone missing. That includes the pictures and mail I brought you earlier. I promise I didn't steal it, but I did borrow it. I'll return it once we're done. Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Oh, I guess that means I've officially confessed. I'm a root tree. I assure you I have a reasonable explanation for the secrecy. I'm about to do something big the family doesn't approve of. If you could just wait a little bit longer, I'll tell you more. In person. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
Okay. Okay, I think this is safe to say that... Is that the redhead? You have to take a look at the evidence. Got this redhead. Okay. I still don't know their occupation because I can't make them a, what's the word? Unknown name. I can't make them an activist. But I'm fairly sure that that's right. Alright, back to the book. I asked Clancy if it ever came up. Okay. 1963, Sam from Lauren Roottrees. Okay. An entry entitled Sam from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1963. From a previous entry, you learn that Elias Roottree had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time, Lauren writes. Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met, after all. Granny had sisters and Granddad had a brother or two, but I was told trim their branches from the family tree. So why is Sam special? Nothing adds up, and I'm not the only one to realize. Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle JR's wedding to Patsy last year. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pops shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands. Okay, wait a minute. Something I needed to do. Elias Jr. Oh. Alright, fine. Oh, I know his profession. Architect. That would be Angelica. Oh my gosh. There we go. Wig. I'm still gonna stick with housewife. I don't know her occupation. Okay. All right. He was an architect, lawyer. I don't know if that's right. And Miracle had 2 sons. Let's take a look at the next gen photo. See here. So we know that Miracle's second son is not in this photo because that's his youngest there. Hey, how's it going, Vanderbeest? It goes. It goes. Oh, wow. Oh, Eli. Miracle's youngest, not my brother. So there are two Elis. And there's an EC, there's an Eli C and an Eli M. All right, let's see. No, that's Eli. So we have an Elias M and an Elias C. I'm gonna say that's probably Elias M. I don't know. It goes. Oh, thank you for the tier 1 for 61 months, 5 years, 1 month. Oh man. Doing all right. Just took a walk. Temperature's good, but the humidity is up a bit. Oh, and there's still a little haze from Canada burning. That sucks. All right. I don't know what her occupation is. They're models. I don't know what their job is. I'm fairly confident of that. But it could also be... Again, I really should just stop. And the next gens, they do have, if we look at the evidence here, how many redheads are there? There's 2. So it's possible that, yeah. All right, let's see. I bet you the person we're dealing with is Carolyn. That may not be right. All right. Let's go back to evidence. Back to the book. All right. Why Sam? From their branches. Okay. Trust me and said it was complicated. I asked who Sam was. Pops trusted me and said it was complicated. Fancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands. EC and John were farmhands. EC and John when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all 3 are on the books. I'm confused. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Apparently, When he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider has cozied into the family affairs, especially one who works on the farm, of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup? Why is Granddad making an exception now? We have an idea as why. One of the final entries called Clark from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1964. Clark's getting married, and in my opinion, far too young. He's barely 18 for God's sake, and Danielle isn't much older. Thank you. But openly confronting them would make me a hypocrite. After all, Jake and I got married at 16. Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl. But that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Okay. That gives us an answer here. So that's Clancy, huh? That would make this more likely to be him. Oh, whoops. Oh, I need to look at the notes from... Yeah. I need to go look at the notes from here. No, is it here? Dynasty. Clancy told me everyone... okay, no, that's not it. Oh, wait. No, I have to look at the picture. Grandma insisted we include Sam. Who... Even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why. Including Sam. I also didn't think it's fair that... So Sam is in this photo, apparently. Interesting. I don't see it. Unless one of these three is Sam. Alright, an attempt to recapture a spirit... Yep, okay. I wanted Eli to stand all the way to the left. Okay. I think that's you. That's you. And you're Eli. Yeah. I have to figure out who Sam is. Okay. Back to this. What else do you call a group? Okay. Whoa. Academy. Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue paths of knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward, is set to take over his department once he retires. Edward. It's easier for me to search stuff. Once he retires. And as for me, my first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods after school. I think he'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name. Even my cousins are doing well. Zach's not a bad president after all, and his sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Gwen is Gwen. But at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. She even told us she might come home next year so we can meet her kids. But the free spirits, in any other family, they'd all end up on the streets, even Clark. Twin girls. Yeah, Morden and Angela. Okay. It's possible. It's hard to tell. It's hard to believe that these two photos came from the same picture. But yeah, if we go here. But it's because of the water damage. All right, let's see. So yeah, twin girls. And we know that Caroline... Oh. Profession, baby. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, student. These three entries are correct. Edward, lawyer. Elias, yep. Okay. Student. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what their professions are. I've got the first, second, and third president, or fourth president, or fifth president. Which means after he retired, it probably went down over to here. Okay, yeah. Instead of returning the person who hired you called, they claimed they were a root tree. They also told you they'd give you more of an explanation next time they returned. Yeah. Okay, and now 22 years later with a baby of her own due. It says that there's 10 notes here, but I don't know, or 10, 5 clues here. Elias could make disco this sweet. Alright. Trick them into caring somewhat. Okay, Elias Root could make, is credited to Peter Genowicz. Let's see. Let's see what happens if I search for him. Seemed to be a music critic. You find him mentioned on a fan site, a band unrelated to the Roottrees. Okay. That was no use. No help. Maybe it's, let's see, lyrics. Rolling, rolling, rolling down to the city. Saturday night.
We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city.
Saturday night, and you're quite a sight.
The world might be burning, but I'm feeling right.
Making ends meet, so they rent and
We can't afford gas, so we skate in the streets.
guys all rush to say that I'm pretty.
Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city.
I'm willing.
On wheels we glide with you by my side.
Inflation is rising, and so is our pride.
Pick our own fate, make love not hate.
They fight overseas, but we'd rather skate.
Guys all rush to say that I'm pretty.
Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city.
I don't see the clues that it's talking about.
Politicians at large are hopeless.
The bankers in charge are all clowns.
The parties sell better than protests.
So signs up while we boogie down, 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 down.
Guys all rush to say that I'm pretty.
Ladies blush and find me so witty. They're out of luck tonight, what a pity. We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city.
Not bad. Alright, let's see. What other clues can I garner? Do I have all the siblings? I have the 5 pieces. I mean, I'm not certain that that's I'm fairly sure that's Gwendolyn, but I'm not sure. I know that this is Carolyn. I don't know that that's her. He has a child, but then there's another that's out of wedlock. I think that might be Sam. Lauren Roottrees. Don't know what he does. Oh, that wasn't the right picture. So I guess that is her. Now, if that's her, I mean, we know that we can be fairly sure. Robert and Ronald. And that's gonna be college and they might both be college. Yeah. Hmm. Ew. Actor, like, could be an actor. Yeah, they're in Paris, so like, 'cause this is them. Film school. But that's a while ago. This is during this. So who could that photo belong to? Maybe that is her. I don't know. Because that is Gwen. Gwen and the boys. That'd be them. Let's see. It's the fringes that are hard. Twin daughters. Let's take a look at the... Go back here and look at this. That maths. I really... Oh. Do you guys got any ideas? Is there anybody out there? We still don't know who... he had a child with Leroy. Yeah. I'm here, but no ideas. Yep. I was being silly. Don't worry about it, Vanderbeest. We still don't know who he got married to. Fairly confident to say that if they had a kid, and yeah, I think this is where Sam comes in and that branch of the family. I don't think we have a picture of him. Oh wait, we do. Wait, no, that wouldn't be him. I think that would be... Oh, let's go back to there. I mean, it says Eli, though. So that... If we look at the names... Right? Do I have to search it? Periodicals. Let's try this. We search wait, no, Zechariah Morden. In 1959, there was a small blurb about Zach Morden, son of James and Gwendolyn Morden, and grandson of Elias Roottrees, inheriting the candy company. He is quoted as saying, "Elias entrusted me with carrying on his legacy, and that's what I plan to do. Along with 5 pieces, our chocolate maple products are selling incredibly well. We will not be making any changes." Okay. Let's try Ernest. Let's see. Madsen. All right, an article from 1982 announces that Ernest Madsen Jr. is taking over the day-to-day operations of Roottrees after the previous president died unexpectedly. Little known is about Ernest, but sources close to the family who have asked to remain anonymous have made it clear that he is more than qualified. There are rumors that Ernest had originally trained to succeed Zach Morden, but had been passed up for unspecified reasons. Business Watch also managed to get a quote from the company's publicist. "The last 4 years at Roottrees have been rough. In an attempt to keep our products relevant and to the modern audiences, some of our decisions have had unintended consequences from fancy flavors misstep to Batter Up Bar. We've taken a bit of a tumble in the public eye, but Mr. Madsen is committed to getting back to basics. Okay, so he's Ernest Madsen Jr. is the third CEO or fourth CEO. Okay, so we got let's look up the fancy flavor. Let's see if we can find out fancy flavors. Or Batter Up. Let's do Batter Up Bar. Batter Up Bar was a failed candy bar released by the Roottrees company. Launched with great fanfare in 1980, it was meant to evoke classic combination of pancakes and maple syrup. The name came from the fact that its recipe used a cream imitation of pancake batter as its filling, and the packaging had baseball imagery. Consumers loved the taste, and the candy launched to stellar reviews. But after a little less than a month on the shelf, it was discovered that the filling of unopened bars began to separate and develop off-putting texture, described as powdery chunks floating in oily goop. This odd consistency made it the punchline of late-night jokes for weeks, solidifying its reputation as a failure. Okay, and then fancy flavors. Fancy Flavors was an addition to the 5-piece product line for less than a year. Guy Hudson's first and historically most... Okay, Guy Hudson. That's all we get. Okay. I will be right back. Give me a few minutes. I appreciate everybody's patience. Alright, I'm back and I appreciate everybody's patience. So, Guy Hudson was the... Okay. Fine. We'll go over here. Go back to here. Guy Hudson. A smart article from 1970. Guy Hudson, along with his twin sisters, are no strangers to public when it comes to the Roottrees snacks. They both appeared in the company's advertisement as children during the Boys and Girls Agree era. Now Guy is taking over the Roottrees company at the end of the year. Who would have known that one of those two adorable redheads, Guy credits his mother and father, Angie Christopher, with his fiery dew. Okay. Go to family tree. Oh, Hudson Christopher. Christopher Hudson, right? Go back here. No, here. Guy credits his mother and father, Angie and Christopher. Okay. Now, Guy would not... I am confused. Because Guy's not on the same level as him. And she also had red hair, so maybe... Who else? I don't know if... I don't know what her... But she's a twin. I don't know. I'm just gonna do that. That's that for now. Okay. Arguing over everything but chocolate would grow up to take over the whole company. Guy's uncle and current president, Zachariah, has decided to take... Oh, uncle.